I can't believe I'm even telling this story, but here we are. You know those moments where your whole life falls apart because of something totally random? Like the universe just decides to wreck everything you've built? Yeah, that's what happened to me. I'm Mackenzie. I'm 32. And I lost everything because my kid fell off a stupid playground set. I remember exactly where I was when it all blew up, sitting at my desk at the insurance office, scrolling through TikTok between calls, when Mark's name popped up on my phone. Mark, my husband. The man I built my life with. The father of my 2 kids. I smiled as I picked up, expecting him to say something sweet about dinner plans or how the kids were driving him crazy. But instead, his voice was shaky, hollow. "Mackenzie," he said, "we need to talk." And just like that, my stomach dropped. Before I tell you what happened next, if you love real-life stories full of drama, heartbreak, and unexpected twists, make sure to subscribe. We post every day, bringing you the kind of emotional roller coasters that make you rethink everything. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss a new story. Now back to my absolute nightmare. Mark told me he was at the hospital. Our son Tyler had taken a bad fall at the playground. He was fine, just a broken wrist, but the doctors had done a routine blood test. And that's when everything fell apart. "Mackenzie," he said again, this time with a coldness I had never heard before. "They said Tyler's blood type is AB." I swallowed hard. "Okay? I'm O negative. And you're A. That's not possible, Mackenzie." My body went numb. My mouth went dry. I tried to come up with something, anything that would make sense, but there was nothing. Mark wasn't Tyler's biological father, and I knew exactly what that meant. He wasn't our daughter Emma's father either. Mark didn't yell. He didn't scream. He just hung up. And when I called back, he didn't answer. I rushed to the hospital, my hands shaking so badly I could barely steer the car. When I got there, I saw him sitting in his truck, his head resting on the steering wheel. He looked up when I approached, his eyes red-rimmed, his face pale. "Mark, please," I begged, tears already streaming down my face. He just shook his head. "How long, Mackenzie? How long have you known?" I opened my mouth to speak, but nothing came out. Because what could I say? That I had known from the beginning, that I had buried the truth so deep, I had almost convinced myself it didn't matter. He let out a hollow laugh, wiping his face. I was so damn proud, you know, of being their dad, of being a good husband, and this whole time, it was a lie. I reached for him, but he pulled away. "Mark, it didn't mean anything," I choked out. "You are their father. You're the one who's been there for them. DNA doesn't change that." His eyes flashed with something I couldn't name. "DNA doesn't change it?" He shook his head, gripping the steering wheel so tight his knuckles turned white. "So what, Mackenzie? I'm just supposed to pretend that the last 12 years of my life weren't built on a lie?" I had no answer. And then, as if something inside him just broke, he let out a long, shaky breath. "I can't do this." He put the truck in reverse, his movements slow, deliberate, as if he were trying to hold himself together. "Mark, please, don't do this. Don't leave. We can fix this. We can work through this." He looked at me, his eyes filled with something so raw it made my chest ache. "I just spent 12 years raising someone else's children, Mackenzie. And the worst part? I would have done it forever if you had just told me the truth." And with that, he drove away. That was a year ago. He never came back. At first, I told myself he just needed time, that he'd come home once he cooled down. But days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And suddenly, I was signing divorce papers. The kids didn't understand at first. "Where's Daddy?" Emma asked every night. And I would smile through my tears and tell her he was just busy with work. But eventually, even she knew something was wrong. Mark still sends birthday cards, he still deposits money into our accounts, but he won't see me. And he won't see them. The guilt is unbearable. I stare at old pictures of us Christmas mornings, birthdays, vacations, moments that were real, moments when he thought his life was perfect. And I stole that from him. I wonder what it must feel like for him. To wake up one morning and realize that the children you've loved, raised, and sacrificed for were never yours. I know people will say I deserved this, that I made my bed and now I have to lie in it. And maybe they're right. But that doesn't change the fact that every single night I lie awake in bed, staring at the empty side where Mark used to sleep, wondering if there's anything I could have said or done to make him stay. Maybe there isn't. Maybe some mistakes are unforgivable. And now, every time I hear Tyler laugh or see Emma smile, all I can think about is the man who walked away. And the fact that I have no one to blame but myself. If you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories, because sometimes the truth is stranger and more painful than fiction.